it's so cool to make relationships and meet people and people know people. And this dude Clay G, he's from Texas. He puts out these mixtapes, and he wanted to put me on a couple songs, and I either did a hook or a verse for a couple of them. I noticed on the mixtape Krayzie Bone was on it. I'm like, why you? And I didn't say why. I'm like, I was more like, how did you get Krayzie Bone on it? And then why? Like, is he a believer? Da da da. He's like, yeah, you know. And if you know Bone Thugs and Harmony, they've always had a spiritual undertone in their music. So he's like, yeah, he is a believer, but don't necessarily know where he's at and don't want to judge him, but he does love the Lord, and we wanted to put him out there like that. I'm like, cool. So I was like, you got any connections with Busy Bone or Krayzie Bone? Because those are the two Bone Thugs and Harmony artists that I like, and I would love to feature. And he's like, I don't, but maybe Lazy's manager does. So long story short, I got to work with Krayzie Bone on a song, which is one of my favorite artists from my childhood. You know what I'm saying? He's my favorite. Really, really cool experience, but I learned a lot from it at the same time. This is the first time I've ever featured someone I didn't know, and also someone I didn't get to talk to or have like actual interaction with. I had to go through manager type thing. Send the track, he loved it. We were supposed to have a conference call, so I didn't write an email about the content and the direction of the song. I didn't write it because we were supposed to have a conference call. We never got the conference call, so I wrote the email. He had already recorded. And the whole reason I picked him to do the feature is the song is called Climbing. So it's talking about climbing, like not climbing mountains, but climbing in life and growing. And then also attaining things, So I picked him because he's the only person I know that's sold 50 million albums. You know what I'm saying? Like no other artists that I know have sold that type of thing. So his perspective is definitely very different. So I wanted his perspective, like, okay, bro, I know you came from the mud, from the dirt, and then you went to selling out arenas, platinum artists, and I want to hear your perspective on that. My perspective is the more I've attained doesn't necessarily mean the more joy I've experienced. So I want to hear from you because you're on a different level than me. I never got to have that call. I did get to send him an email, and we got to communicate a little bit. But he had already recorded, so within our contract I said it needs to be non-explicit, of course, because I wouldn't be able to use any explicit lyrics. So he did make it non-explicit to him, but he used the N-word a whole lot, which personally I don't have a problem with, but I know a lot of people do have a problem with it. He said it 11 times in 12 bars. So I was like, that's gonna be a lot of edits. So that was a whole thing we had to work through, and then we had to like debate on, is this explicit or not? But at the end of the day, radio does not allow that word. So if at the end of the day our goal is to have our songs on the radio, then that should be our standard. So he went back in and changed some of his lines and reworked it, but I love his verse, one of my favorite features, because I mean he's a legend in the hip hop game. And his talent is insane. So I'm sure a lot of people might not like that he's on it or won't have questions why, but really I'm just paying homage to one of the reasons why I do hip hop. Bone was a huge influence to me, although I don't like rap like them, but they're half the reason, but they have big influence on my love for hip hop because they're one of the first to sing rap. Who else had melodies with their rap before them? I think they were the first, hence their name, Bone Thugs and Harmony,